Today's another one of them days where I don't really have a plan. We're just gonna get out of the house, go ride around, see what's happening. So I'll meet you down there at some of these spots. Let's get on the highway. Think first today we'll just take a little ride through Hickory Mound. This ain't gonna be long like it normally is in the videos. I'll just do a few flashes here, something cool if we see something. Then we'll ease on to the next spot. Let's say we're gonna visit multiple spots today. We're just getting in and out. This is what I come around the corner to. He just flew off that thing. Oh, that was pretty. He landed up there. See? Boat ramp. Got a couple grills, picnic tables. I think next we might ride over toward Oakland Church out in the woods. Maybe stop off on a couple places on Econfina. We got plenty of time. Something to go check out here around North Florida. Close to Taylor County, Waukalla, Madison, maybe Live Oak, Swanee. If you've been watching the YouTube channel for very long, you know Hickory Mound is one of my favorite places. I enjoy any day riding down here, any time of year. We have a lot of videos on our YouTube channel of us hiking these woods down here in some of these trails. I'll put a link to that playlist in the description section of this video. About to take a left on 98 and head toward Waukalla and Jefferson County. That way. Right here on the Econfina River on Highway 98. Don't look like there's nobody here. Once again, we're not gonna do a full through. We're just gonna glance around. I got another video telling you about this place. I'm gonna try to remember to link all those videos I talk about in here in the comments, if I can remember. For reference, if you're looking at a map, we're here at Staff Sergeant Edward C. Sheffield Memorial Bridge on Highway 98. The first indication I could find on dedicating a bridge in Florida was in 1919, and that was the Lake Worth Causeway. Econfina River small boat ramp over there. I have seen this whole spot where we're parking underwater. Picnic tables, just the top sticking up out of the water. But not today, we're in the middle of a severe drought. Creek kind of runs through over there. We're just gonna walk over here and look at the water level. It's low. But now I'm gonna tell you, this river's deep. Don't think you're gonna walk out there and just walk across. I gotta find somebody that can transfer it. I got a video where me and my wife and kids went years ago when this went completely dry. I walked right down the middle of it. Probably a good 3.5 miles. That away. Right down the bottom of it. So let me tell you, this sucker right here is deep. Deep, deep. Maybe not right here at this spot, but when you get down there, it is. That's that Edward C. Sheffield Memorial Bridge. I did find this image online. Looks to be from about the same spot we are, same angle. You can see the riverbed. You can see grass growing in spots of the riverbed, so it'd been dry a little bit. Yeah, it's nice right here. Weekend before Thanksgiving. We've had a couple freezes. Those sandbags or concrete bags on the side. Some concrete pillars. Nice little boat ramp for small boats, kayaks, canoes. All right. We're gonna ease on down. As well as the video we have of the boat ramp flooded, we have numerous other videos of things we've explored related to the Econfina. I'll also post them links for you. It's next spot is closer to the Gulf. We've got a little more in-depth video somewhere on the channel on it, but we're just gonna swing by. I don't recall if we've been here since the hurricane or not. It's known as the Econfina on the Gulf, is what I always knew it by. Boat landing, little convenience store here. Some of you may be familiar with Bobby Stefanelli. And his family and son. Anyhow, that's where we're headed next. I remember that big old thing being there last time I was here. When I got home, I actually looked them up. The Econfina Sporting Club. And it is relatively new. From what I found online, I think it opened in 2024. Their website shows that they offer a good variety of outdoor activities and excursions as well as lodging. And even hints in there that they've got some food services coming. So it might be a pretty cool place to check out. First thing you come to here is the Econfina store here at the River Resort. If it's open, we're going to stop. I'm going to get me a cold drink. Something to snack on. But it may not be open. No, I believe it is. Let's see he's up in there. Some of you from way back may remember the old restaurant that they had down here. It just never really could maintain. But that's what this is on the right. Beautiful spot. It just never could hold its own. Quite a few boats down here today, boaters. Like I say, we just riding by today. We got a better video on the channel if you want to see this boat ramp. Got some docks you can walk out on the 2 boat ramps. You can see it does get used, not far from being the Gulf. We do have a video on the Econfina River State Park down here. I will post it in the description, but it's not going to be much more than what you're seeing here, the ride through. I hadn't been down none of that in years. Last time I was here, all that was growed up. We might come back and walk it one day. Bathroom in the center. My experience generally is it's out of order more than it's working. And over here to the left is the back of the restaurant. And it's usually got a bathroom that is open when the other one isn't working. So let's ease on out. Ease on to the next location. Yeah, the old restaurant just couldn't ever quite keep its own, I guess. We're back out on 98, heading back toward Perry now. We're gonna go hit the Oakland Church Cemetery. Old church out in the middle of nowhere. As a side note, it is hunting season. So I've been encountering hunters all day. Even in the Hickory Mound area. We're gonna ease in here and look out for them hunters. It was a pretty good road in here the last time I was here. I think it's been, when I look back, about 3 years since I've been here. We're not going to spend a lot of time here today. I do have a video I'll link in the comments about this church where we really did a more thorough. But I might give you a couple views of it because I do want to take some pictures to update my records. Just one side note while we're here. I've been to this cemetery a lot over the years. I've never been here and not seen it took care of. It is always in the church grounds, tip-top shape, always. Just kind of a view from out here. Oh, it's raining. The hell? That's crazy. And there ain't a cloud around, really. Let's go check out the church building. Check out that flagpole. Out here in the middle of nowhere. Yep, I always love this old church. And the cemetery. There's a lot of this area, the early pioneers are buried here. People who shaped this whole area of Florida, not just Taylor County. In both settlement. A lot of the people from the Osceola smuggler videos I did. In this video, we not only talk about the smuggling of high-grade Colombian marijuana along the Osceola River, we also go out in these videos and hunt the burnt-down remains of a lot of the members of that operation. Homes is buried in this area. The builder of the Cracker House that's uptown we did a video on, he's buried out here. This Cracker homestead I'm referring to is a must-see. It gives you a peek into the pioneer life, the early Floridians. If you can't make it there to see it at Forest Capital State Park Museum, I'm going to put the link in the description and you can take a tour with us. There's a lot of history right here. A lot of history on this building. If you go watch the video we did on Oakland Church. Old picture pump. We're not going to get too close to it today. Say you want to see it like that, just go look at that video. But I am going to snap a few pictures of it while we're here today. As you walk around here, you can see a dedication or whatever you would call it, pedestal here. We'll stop and look at that while we're taking a few pictures. Oh, that's cool. Actually had the pleasure of visiting the guy that does those plaques right there. Saw his process and how it works. So if you're interested in something like that, let me know. I can put you in touch with him. Oakland Baptist Church on that brass plaque, 1875 to 1975. And then here's a newer one, I guess, 1875 to 2025. Teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Psalms. Say I've never been down here and seen this place in disarray. It's always been well kept. Always. Which thankfully they do have video surveillance on it, so that helps. I don't guess it would hurt to take a peek through the windows while we're here. You never know, in that other video I did, they might have been glare or something that day. But you can see the old wooden benches. And even though the outside's been wrapped to protect it, you can see the beautiful wood inside. Old frame style windows. Up to the pulpit area. See the musical instrument. I'm not well versed enough to know if that's a organ or a piano, but anyhow, I'm guessing over here on the sides is maybe where the choir sits. Let's go and we'll walk up to the door. It won't hurt nothing. We'll just take a peek through the door glass. We're not going to try to walk in. Don't know if it's locked or not, and don't care. I don't really want to go inside without somebody here. We might can see through one of the front windows a little better. Not sure how that's showing up on video, but anyhow, that's what we're looking at. So the next spot we're gonna head to is a spot called Poor Spot Cemetery. Just like here, we're not gonna really get out. We're just gonna ease through. I'm gonna show it to you, the location, and turn around. Cause we just out chilling today. Oakland Cemetery, folks. Poor Spot Cemetery Road, right off the side of 98. If the hurricanes didn't tear it up, there's a beautiful oak on the way in here, down here on the right hand side. Big old oak. I keep telling myself to get one of them soft tapes and put in my camera bag so I'll have it and I can measure these old big trees when I come across them, but I always forget to put it in there. Without somebody standing beside it, it's kind of hard to imagine. It's kind of split. That joker's massive. Let's ease on up to the cemetery. On this Poor Spot. Must have tore the fence up in the storm. Nice Poor Spot. Another cemetery with a lot of early settlers in it. Yeah, I bet you right there at the bottom of that tree, it'd take 4 grown people to reach around it. All right, on to the next spot. While we were riding and on this end of town, thought I'd take you through an old neighborhood that I spent quite a bit of time in, up to like probably 10 or 11 years old. It's changed. When Mr. Dill was still alive and owned the place, you didn't just walk in the door. The door remained locked all the time. You rung the buzzer, and if he let you in, that's when you'd hear the famous words most people are familiar with. Some of you may remember when that was old Bart Wiley's convenience store back in the day. Now the Marathon, some people used to call it the Pink Store, was the old Hunter's Grocery. Mr. Ed Hunter and his wife lived behind it. I grew up beating around in this store in my younger teenage years, as my mama and his granddaughter were in the haircutting business together and had a beautician shop in the left-hand side of the store in the very end. So I was very familiar with this store. Former, I don't remember about Pepsi or Coca-Cola. For years, this little building on the right was used for bread distribution. The last few years it had been used for logging operations. Kind of an office and shop area. Coming to the end here, where JB's Tire is on the same side, this first white building, you can still see the whiskey bar sign above it. That was known as the 98 bar when I was growing up. This probably has more violence and history than any place in Taylor County. Been a lot of stabbings and shootings at this location, especially back in the days of the crack epidemic. Being located right here on the side of two major highways where 19 comes through and 27 and intersects with Highway 98, it was definitely a hot spot. Old visions, like, look at that old house over there, old shotgun house. Probably come from one of the old mill towns. We're coming on down Hampton Springs Avenue, where the former Mims Power Center used to sit, Mr. Larry Mims and his wife. A decorated war veteran, Larry was well known throughout the community. Outdoor power tools, he was your man for years. Dealt in such names as Steel, Echo, and many others throughout the years. Worked on mowers. Long legacy in Taylor County. His wife still lives here. Always wondered about that building. I figure part of the railroad, I don't know. But where CVS now sits up here at the intersection across from the old Fast Freddy's, used to be the JC Lounge. From them days, you know. Jim Cruz and his wife. The blue buildings there on the side, the Fast Mart, that was the Tape Escape, I believe. It was a game room when I was growing up. We used to go there and shoot pool. We're now coming down North Jefferson Street. That's our historic railroad depot there on the side. We got a lot of railroad videos. When you go to the description box and click on the link, it's going to open up a playlist about the videos we've done on trains. I believe there's somewhere over 20 videos there. Anywhere from hiking the old abandoned beds. We went on some train tours in Savannah. I actually rode on a train and got to ride on an authentic turntable, a historical turntable. So there's definitely plenty of videos in this playlist you can find on trains and not just local Taylor County. Click on that and decipher through them videos. I'm sure you'll find something there you like. Of course, we ride right on through downtown. We're headed to what is now a lawyer's office, but originally was the old Taylor County Jail. It's known as the Greystone Manor on the left. Make a swoop right through here. And the old jail's gonna be on our right. That's our old Taylor County Jail. Now a lawyer's office. The old jail was built, well, some sources say 1910, some sources say 1912. Been a lawyer's office for a number of years. You know, back in the day, a lot more of these little neighborhoods used to have stores. So, I remember one in particular was called Weeds Grocery, so we're gonna ride over there and see if that building's still there. So we're about to make a right on Center Street. I want you to check out this church when we do. Now we're gonna make a left on Green. About every kid from the neighborhoods around here were in and out of this store buying stuff, and kids that was walking home from the nearby school. There was another little neighborhood store like this over in what's called Granger Quarters back in the day. And what they were. We're going to take a ride on Clark Street. We're turning off of Pinecrest. Right out here is where I went to primary school. Very primary. As you can see, there's nothing there now. It's been tore down. But thankfully, the people who took pictures and posted them online, we do have some pictures of what it used to look like. These were the golden years of my childhood in school. This school right here at the time was one of the most innovative schools there was. Kindergarten right on up, I went to this school. Now sitting beside it over here, when I was in school, was the Taylor County Junior High. I think it's used for administration or something now. This is the junior high school. This is where I went 7th and 8th grade. Just make a little swoop. Those junior high years for me were pretty rough, but I did get through them. Now straight across is now what they call the middle school, the junior high. We're gonna go look at it. Now out to the left is a field house where they practice football. My first 2 years of high school, that's where I went, was this school here that's now the middle school. So let's ride over here and look at this. On the way that we have to go in, we're also gonna go through where I went to 5th and 6th grade, one of the elementary schools along the way, so we'll see it first. We're just gonna ride by. We're gonna turn off of Clark Street. And I don't know, the name of this street's probably hanging on somebody's bedroom wall or shop wall that wasn't there. We'll figure it out somewhere, but I'll give you a side view while we're easing by. That wall was not there when I went to school. Times were different back then. All right, now this is going to be the back side of where I went to elementary school, 5th and 6th grade. You'll see the other side in a minute because we're going to circle around it. I've also got a video where we explored it. So we're on Lafayette Street. That's how you get to the middle school, the old high school, and the old elementary school, which is no longer used as a school. Yeah, this was known as Perry Elementary and the Rock Building. I'll try to remember to link that video in the comment section. We actually have two videos I'll link here. In the first one, we explore the school, the grounds, and the classrooms of the school. In the second one, we explore an underground room made of rocks that's underneath the main building. I got a couple videos on that actually. We actually went back and explored a rock basement. But here comes the old high school, which is now the middle school. None of these walls were here when I was here. We're just circling around. If you go right, you'll come right back to where I told you I went to junior high and where I went to Perry Primary. So we're gonna come back out now and go back the same way we just came, but we're gonna take a ride. And I'm gonna show you that new high school where I went the last 2 years of my school years. There used to be an old house right there when I was in school, but it's been long tore down. This is where I did my junior and senior year of high school. Freshman and sophomore at the one I showed you a while ago. And junior and senior here. Totally different style school. I'm gonna take you and show you one more school I used to go to. Now, all the schools I just showed you are in less than a mile from each other. I mean, you can literally stand in them and blow a whistle and hear it in the others on a quiet day. This one is across town. So we're gonna ride over here. It's called Gladys Moore's Elementary School. I think I went to 3rd and 4th here, if I remember right. Coming up on the left here at this light as we're coming back into Jefferson Street. On the left there is known as, when I was growing up, as Doc's Market. In my short lifetime, it's been a less lethal self-defense supply shop selling stuff, a consignment shop. This next building up here on the right used to be the, I want to say, radio station. I can't even remember which ones it was, and it was also a sign shop for a while, short while. Now we're pulling into what is currently the senior center. When I was growing up, this was the Gladys Moore's Elementary School, named after Mrs. Gladys Moore, the historical Taylor County educator. I've got a video on this place where me and my granddaughter explored it. I'll link it down bottom. It was like stepping back in time. Alright, we're fixing to head back now to what is known as Highway 1927, us locals. I don't get into all them road names. I'm fixing to show you a place belonged to a renowned eye doctor who had designed and perfected some techniques. You just have to look him up, Dr. Sugar. This was his practice. He was killed in a skydiving accident. I think now this building belongs to the county. Here on the left, coming in on 2719, now called Auto and RV. Tim was as fine a man as I know, and that's where I did all my tire business until he got sick. Tim Armstrong's tire shop. Tim was a good local to do business with, treated people good. Here on the right, I always loved this building. This was Mr. Bundy's building. I hadn't been in that building since I was 5, 6 years old. I don't know for sure, but I would about bet the wood used in this building came from local woods and was cut on local sawmills. Knowing the logging history here, bet money. I went there one time with my granddaddy to pick up a radiator. Coming down South 19 and 98, coming on into Perry. Here on the right is just an empty concrete slab now. 2 poles sticking up. Used to be Buck Holder's grocery. Mr. Herman used to buy dog food from me. Always enjoyed his trips to the feed store. He'd hang out and talk a few minutes, shoot the breeze. called his convenience store, them two loops. Where that steel building is, was the old Holmes's Grill. I have personal family history here at the old Holmes's Grill, as my grandmother and grandfather Sadler owned it for years. My mother and my aunts, cousins grew up working in this. I remember running around this when I was 4 and 3 and 5 years old. So, a lot of family history in this place. When they got older in their age, they worked out a deal and it transferred to my father's people, who then used it to lease out. But my grandparents on the Sadler side, they worked it themselves. Had motels and all, back to day restaurant. That old building there was Mr. Amos Bellman. To the right, I believe, was originally Perry Lumber, and then it was Gilman's Lumber, and it's been a couple different things. It was currently owned by West Frazier when it closed in 2024 and now sits empty. When they first started their cutbacks in 2023, the mill had around 130. Westgate Motel. Most people remember that as the guy who had about any kind of RV part you could want, including any PVC. He was going to pay like hell for it, but he had it. It's hard to even imagine now, looking at it, how booming of a business he had. If you lived in Taylor County, you visited this place back then. He had any kind of PVC fitting, RV supplies, whatever you needed. A lot of people passing through. Wilson's Bait and Tackle. Back when I used to hunt and fish, this is where I did my business. They were always friendly, always had good advice, and always took a few minutes. You never felt rushed. Great family here, always has been. Been there longer than I've been alive. The old Sun and Sand Motel, now the Bookmark. Here was the old Citizens Bank, now it's called ViStar. Before that, it was the old Walker's Truck Stop restaurant. Located just up the road from where all the Blues Festival and Forest Festival and the Cracker House videos I did is our local airport that started out as an Army air base. I'll kind of give you a right-by shot of that. We're now headed down Industrial Drive. Show you this airport out to the left here. Not even counting its World War II history, this is utilized pretty heavily by the local county. This is where our fairs are held, our carnivals. This is also where the fireworks go on. Not long ago, I got a video of an air fly-in that they had here, where they had a little air show. A lot of history here in this place. And like I say, it is still used pretty heavily. Most years when the Forest Festival's going on right across and up the street, there's a carnival here going on. Here on the corner of Carlton Cemetery, and we're fixing to cross over 1927. On the right there was a place forever known as Ed's Liquor. It was tore down here just a couple years ago. Now they're selling mini storage buildings. Dollar General is also recently new. We're going to cross over here and go toward the old Foley Mill, Buckeye Mill, GP plant. Recently closed. I know some of y'all may have read about it or heard about it. Or heard about it through the newspapers, maybe the news. I'm going to show you the side of the mill that's still standing. And out in front of it used to be a place many of us knew as Buckeye Park. They tore it down way back. got to make a stop at the pharmacy at Walmart. Some of you that's been born in the last 10, 15, maybe 20 years won't remember this, but where Walmart is, when I was growing up, you ride by, it was just growed up woods with sinkholes scattered throughout it. Sometimes some homeless people would encamp there, and back behind that area, back in there, there was a homeless man that was beat to death. Some teenagers went to prison over it. That's been quite a bit ago. I can't remember how many years ago. A little history on the Walmart land and the area behind